Hi there, this is Justin from LemTask, and today we'll be looking at common mistakes people make when using To-Do, and more importantly, why those mistakes usually aren't about discipline or about any other issue except a person's expectations. So, a lot of people try to do, feel stuck. Like if you try it, you feel stuck. After a few days, then assume this tool isn't just good enough. So in reality, it's something more than that, and it's more about suitability or knowing how to use this tool specifically. Because if you just use it randomly, you won't get the results that you need. But if you use it in an organized and uniform manner, you might get the results that you need. So we'll quickly go into To Do. As you can see here, there are previous tasks that were added, and with that being the case, I'll just quickly highlight this and mark it red. Same with this one. Okay, so if you want to know or find out how we got to this section or how we got here, please, by all means, please go back to the previous videos, have a look at how we did it and what led to what and which results led to to what outcome. So we'll just continue from here. As you can see, each and every single day has a slot where you can add your tasks, as many as you need, and then you have your lists here, and then here you have your, these are what you call your tabs. You can have as many tabs as you want as well, and on the lists you can have as many lists as you want, as you can see in your list and so on. So you can organize this whole thing in whatever way you feel like organizing it, as long as you will get to understand your tasks, as long as you will know how simple your task will be and how it will work for you. So the reason why To Do feels confusing at first is that people, when they open the tasks, obviously same with me when it came to my reaction. When I opened this tool, there was almost nothing here, and I couldn't really figure out how this nothing can be useful anyway. So there were like no special features to explore and no setup to really go through. It was just straightforward. You click, you meet this whole interface here. As you can see, this is what you just get from the get-go. So with this, people assume that it lacks features. Like it feels like it's incomplete, and this is actually intentional in a way. It was designed around constraint and not capabilities. So they used, actually they excluded a lot of features or didn't use as many features as possible to make it clean and just straightforward. You do what you need and you're done. That's it. So it's not necessarily a project or task management tool. However, you can use it that way after configuring it and figuring it out based on your routine and how you visualize this whole task process. You can use it as a project management tool. However, it won't be as easy as having tools that automate the whole process. So that's another thing. So the first mistake when it comes to this is people expect features that are not there or features that don't exist. Like as you can see, it's simple. People really look for projects, they look for priorities, they look for a complex structure, which is not something that's here to begin with. So when they don't find it, they feel limited, which is not really the case. You shouldn't feel that way. This tool isn't missing any features, it removes them to force daily commitment. So this tool, let's say, do not assume that there is a need for complexity when it comes to using this tool. You just have to use it the way it is. And another mistake people would make is that people fight the constraints. People try to work around what's not there. So they'll try to write long tasks, they'll try to overload future days, and they try to simulate planning inside a daily list. So they try using, let's say, an approach that you'd use on a tool that has all the features or has everything that you need and holds some confusing features that you might not need. So they try to apply it here, which is not really the case, and that's where friction starts. Really, you don't put something somewhere that it doesn't belong. So when you start doing that, you start creating a little bit of chaos. You're sort of creating a system on top of a system that already works very well and which can be chaotic sometimes. So when users feel stuck, this is usually this is usually because the tasks don't really fit cleanly anymore. Work spans multiple days, which you might need to copy and paste this. Like as you can see here, we copied and paste the same thing because we do the same thing each and every day. So it doesn't really work in this sense, and it feels like it's inefficient, like feels like something is lacking, which is not really the case, but not really supposed to be used this way. It's a tool that's supposed to be used for tasks that can be executed today and finished today without spilling over to the next day. So at some point people feel stuck, not because they are unproductive, but because the tool can no longer represent the work that they do. So feeling stuck doesn't necessarily mean the tool failed to do its job. It just means that your workload or your task has obviously outgrown what this tool can support, or your task or your workload initially could never be supported by a system like this. So that's one of the reasons why people would feel like this tool is not really working. So another mistake is that people might think they need more discipline, they need to be more aware, they need to have more consistency, but it's a case of trying or structural mismatch, trying to have something fit where it doesn't belong, trying to run a process in a system or in a pattern that doesn't really suit it. So that's another mistake people make. It's not because they are failing or the tool is failing, it's because they're trying to combine poles that repel each other like a magnet. So that's one of the features or one of the reasons that people struggle with this. So today, To Do is an excellent tool, nice and plain, but people expect more from it, which is why they get that blockage. So to supplement the use of To Do, you can have a look at LemTask. Here we go. So it has all those features that you need, all those features that you want to find in To Do, and you can implement that as well. So as you can see, you have your time, which you can adjust the number of hours or minutes you need to complete a task, the day that you can set, the time that you can set, and also you can have the task repeat on a daily basis, which means it can spill over to the next day, which is a feature that you can might use. A priority level as well, and energy levels as well. So it's a tool that you can use all those features that you need, all those missing features, you can find them here, and you can have your orange, your red, your nice interactive colors based on the importance of the task or based on the priority level of the task. You can have your lists. Where are those lists? There we go. You can have your lists where you can organize your task according to the list that you have here. So that's one thing you can do, and that's pretty much it for now. So if you want to explore these tools further, you can always catch the link in the description below. And that's it from me. I will catch you on the next video. Bye for now.